What's going on YouTube? It's your buddy Will from the What's Up in the Sky 37 channel, online at www.whatsupinthesky.com. Come visit the website, check out the forums, sign up. They're really taking off. All sorts of good news. People post their anomalies there. You can sign in with Facebook, but you're off of Facebook too. So if you don't want, some people don't like their friends and their family having access to what they do here. It's kind of a hobby for a lot of people, but it comes with a stigma for some things. But looking at some pretty wild looking area of Mars here we've come across. This is from Sol 1039. This was sent in by one of my viewers, and if you check this piece out here, it looks to be broken off of something, a bigger statue or a bigger, it almost looks like a something very ornate, whether I'm going to call it a statue or not. Here it seems to have that typical block obfuscation that NASA puts on the back side of things they don't want you to see, or on the front side of things, depending on the lighting and the color like that. I do believe that is not an artifact just from the darkness or something along those lines. Here you've got what seem to be blocks just kind of strewn about. This isn't a huge area, so these aren't huge, but this would look like something. Let's just for the sake of it, let's just assume in this video that Mars had life on it at one time and something came through and destroyed it. Now we're looking at what the remnants would be, whether it be metal, rocks, possibly even cold, freeze-dried things. That who knows how the catastrophe happened and what happened to the things on it. There could be, for all we know, um, really anything could happen for all we know. And what seems to be more and more as we go through, this is going to be video like 300 and something just on Mars alone. There are anomalies all over this picture, and it's going to be interesting for you guys. As always, here it is here, directly from NASA. You can see the color comes from NASA, and all I do is basically a couple. One of them I've done an auto color. And here I'll show you the different various versions. One that's just basically an auto color. That's with me using the Molly piece here this sits on the rover with that penny there to match the colors up. This is a black and white version, and even a black and white version you can really see that what looks to be hidden, obfuscated there, blurred over as we call it. And here's one directly from NASA. You can see that we really didn't change. We didn't add anything. This isn't photoshopped in. There's no magic to it. All we're really doing is just, all I really did it here is pretty much pull the color out that's already in the image. Okay, so let's start with a couple of these things here and we won't keep you going. So we've got a fairly interesting piece. Now, down here, looks like this is huge. Now scale, I'm sorry I can't give you a scale on this one. I'm just not it's not 100% with a lot of these images. So, and the way for the sake of this video, let's just imagine that there was a Martian civilization there and it was destroyed, and we're looking at what possibly could be ruins. As we roll through pretty much any city in America, any city in the world that would be destroyed, when I look at a lot of these images, especially one like this, I look back at the pictures from you know uh, Nagasaki and Hiroshima, the World Trade Center after 9/11, the area, this total devastation, or after tsunami runs through, like in Japan, and what's left after it. You've got this kind of mess of things, and very interesting mess to say the least. So let's take a real good look at this one up top here first. Let's take, and let me show you too also what looks to be very blocky blur marks. Okay, from here to here seems to be hidden, and down here there's two blocks that aren't. What leads me to believe that they're being basically used to hide what the rest of it was in here, so you don't get a really good view of what this piece could be. If you notice, there are a lot of intricate, they look way more than just what you would call water running on it or something like that. This looks like this was carved into this piece. This looks like a little bit more of a fresh cut. Either that, it's just the way it's sitting in the sun, because it's here, it's too a little bright as well. Um, but as it comes down, this seems to have a piece that comes off of it, almost like an ear. Like I've got big old huge ears. You can't see them with my cans on here, but it looks like an ear or something along those lines. And it just, with that block, the hiding it, that obfuscation there. Let me make it as big as I possibly can so the people that are on cell phones can see it there. See how blurred it is? Let me show you. It's in every single one too, even on down. That's the NASA version. Now, you wouldn't recognize that if you were just flipping through it. And there's the black and white where you can really see it well. Um, you really couldn't tell, could you? It even extends the block up into this piece here that kind of comes together, so it almost looks like an eye or something along those lines. Here at the back bottom of it seems to be chopped off. Pretty interesting. Now let's keep on going down here. There's a couple interesting things down here I want you to see. Now go ahead and comment below in the video, and I know there's a lot more anomalies, and I'm going to just go over in this video a whole lot more. Go ahead and share them with everybody. You see something I missed, share them with everybody in the comments section. That's what I enjoy about this. Especially you want to come on over, you know, join the website. It's free. Start a forum conversation about it. Upload your pictures. Now, see how this has got a very oval circle shape to it. It almost looks like it's a circle or an oval, but you're looking at it from an angle. Pretty interesting, huh? See how that comes around here? And then even around the backside of it, you have it as well. There's a little bit of a blur that comes through here, which of course could just be the image just being blurred. The mass scans have been running for a while up there on Mars. We've gotten some amazing photographs from it as well. But if you just keep looking at, this is where I start to think, all right, well, are we looking at a coincidence, or was this, you know, something from a civilization just thrown about? Here you've got something that looks almost like a bone of something. Um, as you can see, it's got a shadow under it, so whatever it is, it comes up and over. And it looks like you've got something behind it too that kind of comes together with it. Shaping of these stones right here, what you would kind of see what I would expect to see if I were to roll up on an ancient site or something like that that was destroyed, especially by water and had a lot of water access that could taken out a lot of the actual features from it. But check these out, little they almost look like little worm-like indents on it there. Pretty interesting. Now, a lot of people I think are going to see what this stuff is sitting on these rocks and think that they're pretty ornate too. When I back all the way out here in a second, we'll show you that. But here once again, we have a fairly interesting piece right here. It's got some color to it, and then you've got some other square blocks again. Now they don't cover the whole thing. They just cover where it gets a little bit, and here's where a lot of people say, well, maybe it just does it where it's dark. And I think, okay, well, that might be the case because I've taken a lot of pictures and I've tried to find this outside, you know, where there are dark spots. But they're not just in the dark spots. They also add them places like here where there's circles and interesting things that we could be looking at. This over here is part of the rover, of course. That's a not an anomaly as we go through. This piece right here has a shadow. Something's casting this shadow. I imagine this piece up here. Not exactly sure. Let me back up a little bit, see if we can see what actually is doing that, causing that shadow. Pretty cool. Now this is also I thought was kind of cool. This looks like two pieces of different material right here. You've got the one on top here. It comes to a sharp little it's like a circle on the bottom base of it, and then it sharpens up like a pencil would, or would come to it, or if you're looking at a crayon. And it's just stuck into this little piece right here. Could be something, might not be anything. And once again, more the blur. See, this is where I start thinking that, you know, the blur marks or you know, are just added. It's not just where it's dark. They're added where they don't want you to see things. See, now there's an interesting something here, and it's got the square blur marks over top of it again. Same as right here, blur over top of it. Interesting little piece right there. As we move right along, now this was directly under here. Pretty cool. This little rock or whatever is added here. See how this whole actual piece is pretty interesting. It comes up and around and down. It sits next to a totally different color right there. Let me go back here. Keep on moving up. once again, look at this. Let me spin this on its side just to take a look at it. Now, tell you what. Now tell me that doesn't look more like an Egyptian or something. They're doing the headdress up here. It looks like it's broken off. Eyes, and even over here where you got like ears, mouth, something along those lines, or maybe some sort of totem. Just sometimes when you look at things from different angles, you can tell you see it a little bit differently. So let me don't make everybody sick here. Let me flip it back around. Up here behind it, an interesting looking piece. Sure does have a little bit of symmetry to it. Up here there's a little knob or something on it, but if you cut it right down here to the middle, it looks like it had a symmetrical box or something. Let me keep on moving right along because there is more to get to, and my mother's got surgery tomorrow, so I want to get out a couple of these videos tonight. There's a good space news I want to get done, and this is one that's just I've been sitting here staring at this photo, and it's been dying to get out. Here we go, another box right here, just kind of boxy looking brick type feature, and you get more blur on top of the one piece from it. All right, now up here in the corners where you get some interesting pieces too. See, check this out. See how this has the curve to it, and it comes down and around. Now, it almost looks to be worked in a way, but as it's moved over, check out the intricacies of the carving or whatever the inlay is, however that was put there, whether it was done through water or it was done through the hands of something. And if we're thinking devastation, earthquakes, stuff that would leave stuff in this type of ruin, electrical storms that destroy the planet, something along those lines. And a lot of people are going to say, well, the planet's not destroyed. There's still weather going on Mars, which we've proven. On the next video is going to show there's still water seeping up from the bottom. Um, Here's an interesting piece right here. Let's flip through these. Let's take a look at this. Look at the different colors of this. Look at the purple inlays here. And then you got like an inlay on the top. Let me see if I can get this a little bit bigger on the screen for us all. Oop. Look, you've got, it runs up to here, and this looks just like a big blur mess right here. You can hardly see, but here you at least can really see two good pieces of it before the blur kicks in. You got one sphere, two spheres, and then just like a long piece to it, and it looks to be inlaid into this rock or whatever it is. Here, check that one out. I thought that was cool. You got a little curly Q. Here you've got a circle with a pan, almost looks like a panhandle there, and right smack in the middle of it, there looks like to be a spear right in the middle of the circle there. Here you got a little piece that comes off. It almost looks like a tool shape. All sorts of crazy stuff up there on Mars. I tell you, this is like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg, one of these videos. We got a lot more coming up. There's hundreds and hundreds of videos back there to show really crisp, clear anomalies. This one is one that I thought that was pretty cool, especially with that one piece down at the bottom I wanted to get out in everybody's hands. Now tell me this doesn't look more like metal or more along the lines of a different type of material. Um, the coloring is just amazing. That the coloring is in the actual image itself. I'm just using the Molly to pull that out. Okay, here's where these pieces were. All right, check this one out. This looks like there's spikes coming off of whatever this is. They come off the top, they come off the side of it, and extends out to whatever this is over here. Whether it's connected or not, it looks like it is through some spikes. There's some shape into that. Right under it, you've got what seems to be, it's blurred right here, of course, but you've got what seems to be a rectangle type shape with a knob on the front of it. Something almost looks like a dress drawer you'd open up or something along those lines. A piece like that. Now I always say I see what I see, you see what you see. That's at the beginning of my videos. Now of course I don't think that's a drawer. I'm just equating it to what I in my head I've seen that looks like it. Just like this looks like some sort of weapon, like a rod, and it's got some sort of staff or something at the end. It looks something at the end, maybe even a cane, or like if you held it from this end, this would be the business end that you would whack somebody with. All right, guys. Like I said, I'm not going to keep you too much longer on this one. I've probably already gone longer than I should. But then again, I know I've missed a bunch, and my subscribers will let me know what I've missed because I love you guys. And that's what you guys are awesome about. And if you stuck around and you're one of the subscribers of the channel, you obviously are usually think along the same lines I do. Here you go. You're tired of having to second guess any picture we get from NASA or from anywhere, especially when there's blatant obfuscation on some of them. Now, as I was saying earlier, as I backed out, we're going to look at some of the bottom pieces. It's pretty interesting how they seem to run. Yeah, they look like blocks. It kind of looks like a foyer or something you'd have. And who knows, could be foundation for area, just could have been standard old, standard, you know, rock that's just out there. Could just be, laid out across. But here's the one thing that I thought was cool. It's my friend. I can't remember exactly who sent this over. Sorry, I know it came from one of my subscribers. Sorry, I didn't get a chance to remember. It's been so much going on, especially with the surgery for my mother, and she should be okay. It's about a 5-hour surgery, so tomorrow afternoon I'll let everybody know what's going on. I'll have another little news section coming up. Here's a little head-looking piece right there. That's kind of cool. So comment below. Let me know what you think. Also, if you want to check out some of the previous videos. Last one I did a good Mars one, or a good one from the moon. I'm gonna try and you know I'm trying to keep it a little bit of not all of Mars. I mean, I've got so many Mars videos now. I've slacked on the moon. There's so many great images from the Apollos, from lunar orbiters that I can do. Also, you guys are always sending good stuff over. So much love to you. Hope you're having a good one. I went a lot further than I thought I would on this one. I thought this was going to be a 5-minute video, and I've talked for 16. So if you made it this far, I love you. Hope you're having a good one. Peace.